I love Bard College.
We had such a great time lecturing there this week.
Mm.
I thought we should dedicate this video to Nina, Becca, and Amy because they got us there.
Yes, indeed. Yes, they did. Nina's the one that contacted me first.
She found us, I think, through YouTube or Google. She said she just couldn't believe it.
I think that they were watching the YouTubes. Yeah. Bard College was for me a dream come true. I always want to have a conversation with the audience.
When you said you wanted to do live Q&A, I was like, well, what if they don't ask any questions? What if they're nervous? Because I'm coming from Yale Sex Week, which was a conservative group that didn't really interact. So I'm like, let me do a PowerPoint. And you were like, well, maybe on pieces of paper beforehand people would do questions. But they jumped right in.
Oh, they were so uninhibited. They're so much smarter than any other college I've been to.
I know.
I had to ask a few of the students, what is Bard College? I mean, I've heard the name. And so you explained the difference between a college and a university.
College is mostly private money. You're not taking state and federal money, so you have a little more leeway in how you run your institution.
You're not dealing with the government.
Exactly.
You ought to know, anything the government gets its hands in is going to be stilted, censored, and the way they want it. So these kids were brilliant.
The questions they asked were just really thoughtful and provocative, not your basic sex questions. I was really impressed.
No.
And it was co-ed, so it was young men and women.
Yes.
And they were laughing their asses off, because you're always like that. Once you get going and you get one or two laughs, she's going to go for it.
If I know they're having a good time, I'm having a good time.
Exactly.
And I have a better time, they have a better time. And it builds, it escalates. It's exactly what gets these comedians stand up. You get hooked on that because I'm literally interacting with the room. I'm having sex with the entire room.
So halfway through her sex session, a young man raised his hands and he said, I have more of an observation than a question. He said, I just assumed that if I was having a good time during sex, she was having a good time during sex.
Fucking brilliant. It's so brilliant. That really sums up the problem between men and women.
The breakdown.
Because I was talking about, we are still using the male model of sexual response and applying it to women.
And our bodies are just different.
We don't work that way. And I learned that from the technology of orgasm when I read the book, and she kept talking about, she called it phallocentric. Well, now, phallocentric doesn't mean anything to me, to an artist who's not an academic.
The phallocentric. I got what you meant now. Now I get it.
Phallocentric. But male, how do I say it? I say
the male model.
The male model,
response.
and those I translated into English, the how we speak. Because I never got phallocentric. I had to work on that.
But you always say the man's penis is his phallus and the woman's clitoris is her phallus.
Yeah, but they don't talk about
But that's the whole point. You have to be stimulating your own phallus.
Here's to the phallus. And I actually went and looked up phallus in the dictionary. I praise the goddess that I am not educated. And it said the sex organ for both the male and the female. The female phallus is the clitoris. The male phallus is the penis. Now, when you check the appropriate, a man is considered perfectly valid and okay if he can get an erection, strong enough or hard enough to penetrate the vagina and ejaculate. He has fulfilled his role. Has nothing to do with the woman having any fun. No. And then guys get very upset and very incensed. Like, what do you mean you're not having a good time?
Well, because they see it in porn and they think that's all I need to do, and now they try it out and it's not good enough.
No, they're fake.
And that kid got it in 30 minutes of your lecture. He went, wow, now I get it.
Yeah.
You got to stimulate your clitoris and you're going to take longer.
So what happens is he's getting the kind of stimulation he wants, and we're not. All right, so then he learns that it's our clitoris, and then he tries to do it. But most men don't do the clitoris the same way that we do.
You have to do your own clitoris.
The woman, like he's doing his own penis, so we have to do our own clitoris. And you have both of the primary sex organs involved, and then you have a man and a woman dancing together.
Which is always the most fun.
Yay, everybody gets to have an orgasm. So, thank you, Nina. Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Becca.
Yeah, for a fabulous time.
Nina brought us up there, And then,
Amy put us up at her house.
Yes. and these three women are just, they're marvelous. We love them. And now we're considering
A lecture tour. Start with the Northeast, but we are considering it. So if you're interested, send us an email.
if it's anything like Bard.
I could do it all like weeks.
forever.
Yeah, I could do one a week.
Well, maybe one a month. So, Bard, we love you totally and completely.